Hi, this is the last one for the ABC series, the intro series for the Be Aware Holistic Health Care model, which evolves around the emotions, the body and the mind. So the last letter of the alphabet is Z, as we all know, or Z, and there's not too many words that start with Z. So I have used a word that's associated with all three in my realm, and that is Zeitgeist. So Zeitgeist means, it's a German word that means spirit of time, and there was a film made about over 16 years ago called Zeitgeist by an independent person that evolved around three subject matters to do with money and health and something else. So if you wanted to research that, it's an interesting topic. However, today's Zeitgeist with body, mind and emotion evolves around this particular time in our history, which has extraordinary and influential events in, when I say this time, so 2021, if anyone's watching it in the relevance of the time now, they might be watching it in the future. It might be my little grandson when he's an adult. I don't know. Hello to anyone out there that's watching it. So at this particular point in time, 2020, 21 and leading into 22, we're in an extraordinary time in human existence on the planet, where there are extraordinary events, unusual events that are occurring. Excuse me, it's quite hot today. So, yeah, so it's, and they are evolving around supposed health that has been detrimented by a supposed disease that was created by someone that also, ironically, has created the treatment. So the Be Aware model is primarily for an influence of thought and feeling and action. So this model encourages people to actually think about what they're thinking, or analyze it, analyze what they're feeling, and look at what they're doing and their response. And in this time, we associate it with strong, unusual influences on the outside of our within our environment, that's encouraging us to do things that may not seem quite right as feeling in the gut goes. Now, when someone is focusing on the three aspects within the emotions, body and mind, and that symbol for me represents body, mind and emotion, because I've seen that symbol represented with other aspects. So if anyone's watching it and thinks it's associated with something else, it's not. This is body, mind, emotions, those three aspects. So it represents the triangle. And for anyone that doesn't know, the triangle in geometrical shapes is apparently the strongest shape in the universe. So body, mind and emotions of three. It's a trinity, if you like. If you're religious, like body, the body, the Holy Spirit and God, and the aspects that are associated with that. Or in India, there's Brahma, Shiva and, oh, my mind's a blank right now, but those that are aware of it, they'll know the three is associated with many different philosophies. Kali, I think it's Kali, the god of destruction, Brahma, the honourable, and Shiva. Yep. So, body, mind and emotions, be aware, and Zeitgeist. So Zeitgeist can be related to how we are in honoring our body. So it's the coarsest, the densest, the heaviest, most obvious aspect of who we are as a human being. So those that are watching this are more than likely already aware that we are more than what we see. However, we still need to look after our physical. So if we're doing stuff in our environment that is knowingly going to detriment our physical, it possibly will cause inflammation or irritation. I'll say inflammation for the physical. Then we're going to feel it in our physicality. And then for those that are super sensitive, and those are the ones that are going to either consciously or unconsciously be aware of our physical, mental and emotional aspects. So people will be the ones who are aware of how they're feeling. They might not know why, but they're aware of how they're feeling and they act upon it and they acknowledge it. And the same with thoughts. When you act on your thoughts, it may be your thoughts, or as you saw in the last video, it may be someone else's thought that you've stepped into the realm of mind, because our mind is not our brain. Our mind extends within all cells and beyond the physicality. And some people call this aura. However, in the realm of be aware, this is part of mind. So when we step into awareness of our thoughts and how we think, then it's important for us to understand that we're in more greater responsibility for our existence. So this particular time in history, the zeitgeist is not just exclusive to now, it's exclusive to any unusual, influential, extraordinary particular time that has these characteristics. And this is it. This is a big one. So there's many terms that are, and this is all related to our health. You know, even how we are seeing the environment still will affect our health, because what we bathe in, as I've spoken about before in other videos, affects how we may be. It's a lot harder to be yourself, as in your stable emotions, your clarity of thoughts, and your physical strength when you place yourself in an environment that is not so conducive to health, such as an extremely fearful environment, whether it's in your home watching a box that's creating more fear, or whether you're outside with congregating with people who are not listening to how they feel, and not analysing what they're thinking, and not physically taking responsibility for their own state of being. And those situations are a fearful environment that will affect your being, your whole being, your own physical, your own mental, and your own emotional. So it's, really important to be aware of it and act on it, or go into the stillness and just let the guidance come through, because that's what it's all about. This is our temple. This is nothing new to many. However, many aren't taking notice of their own truth. They're not listening to what's really going on. And I'll be bold here. There's clinicians out there that are not necessarily doing the most that they can overall for their health. There's channelers that aren't keeping themselves as pure as they can to get the clarity coming through for whatever messages they need to say. This is not a personal judgment to them. This is a observation and an acknowledgement of how one can possibly be, and the potential of how one can become even more human and humane and express that which is eternal and filter and flows through us and filters through every cell in our being, that which people call omnipresent or God or universal energy. It doesn't matter. The words really aren't as relevant as the actual understanding. It's the understanding, and that's the aim of this awareness, this be aware model, is to understand our physicality, how our thoughts, which are contained within our mind, as well as the stillness of thoughts, and affect us, and how our emotions, which are contained within an area of the body that is beyond the physicality and beyond the mind. And that's why I give it its own particular encasement or encapsulation within the definition, because the emotions are so important. Dr. Edward Batch, who I've already spoken about in a previous video, he has dedicated so much of his short life. I think he died at 36, very short life as a doctor. So this particular time in history is extremely important for the awakening. There are words out there that describe it as a reset. Well, you can take it as you like, because it really depends on where your physicality, your mind, and your emotions want to take this awakening, reawakening, because we're already awake. We're not necessarily conscious of it. So by addressing the physicality, that which is dense, hard, firm, is in the body, and addressing our thoughts and analysing them, and understanding that we're all here for a really, really valuable purpose, every single one of us. Whether you realise it or not, you are a being that is placed on this earth, this beautiful planet that we have, that has far more possibilities of wonder than is given credit by the few who are mentioning it as detrimental and destructive and not so in a state of well-being. It's far more beautiful than people realise, and as is you. And so how you are through this, feeling through this, is going to carry you into a greater state of awareness for the new age, which we're moving into, which in some dialogues call the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is for the people. So I'm not subscribing to any particular one room of thought or realm of thought. This is what certain models, philosophies, whatever you like to call them, they describe them as. So we're moving into a new age, and it is extremely exciting. It's exciting because this is an opportunity for great change. No more do we need to be so materialistic in our external and to the detriment of our own existence, our own physicality, our own mental capacities, and our own emotional being. We now move into a realm where we can encompass the beautifulness of our existence as human beings and the beautifulness of the planet, and we can join them together and encompass them as one, as the Indigenous have mentioned throughout time and understood throughout time, and have tried to tell people of non-appreciation to nature, because we're not all not appreciating nature. There are many of us who do. So I encourage you all to take note of how you are acting, how you are thinking, and how you are feeling, and allow that to become more of a awareness and a state that you listen and take notice of and put into for your outside activities, your environmental contribution. So thanks for watching the series if you have. I look forward to doing something new next year. I'm doing something for relating to herbal medicine. So if anyone's interested, let me know in the comments, like and share. Thank you for watching. And above all, namaste and love always.